All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is another session of my book, A Patriot's Journey, Forging Hope, Volume 1. And today is a little bit different because it's going through some of the physical changes, or not really physical changes, but some of the things that your body feels when things are just not going right mentally. So, a lot of times, how your body displays tension, stress, anxiety, um, frustration, multiple different ways that your body shows it. Um, but one way my body always shown it was I would just have my blood boiling in my arms. Like I could feel from my shoulders down to my fingers, and it would just make it feel like I say just lifted things 1,000 times. I could barely lift my arms because how much stress and tension are put in them. So that's basically this first poem. It's called Blood Boil, and it's just basically about how what I was thinking or feeling when I was going through it. So it says, I think it's from tension and anger, I must confess. My shoulders to fingertips are a hot boiling mess. I guess I didn't know how this came about. I do know that I wouldn't sit around and pout. I try to make the best of things and find the silver lining. I could be the reason why you look at me and I'm smiling. I try many kinds of workouts to let the tension go. Nothing seems to be working. There is no constant flow. I'm trying little tricks like being a good person. It's not working. My anger is starting to worsen. I'm watching TV to stay out of my head. I re- I'm rather useless while I'm in the bed. I have nightmares each and every night. It's hard to prepare mentally for this fight. I am religious and believe in His Word. I know that for some people this is absurd. He has a plan for each one of us. In Him must learn to trust. If you forgive yourself for things you've done, in the eternal battle you have felt like you have won. So Bowling Point is kind of a crazy one because, like I said, I'll be driving all of a sudden, I'll just start feeling this tension, coming down, and it's from my shoulders to fingertips. My arms are boiling. I'm full of rage. I just can't figure out what's causing it all, um, because there's no specific trigger that set it really in motion. I could just be thinking of something, and all of a sudden, like, just it just comes over me. And at times, I was. Mentally preparing myself to go throughout the day. And I think that one of the biggest factors is that I just need to start off the day right and probably prepare myself, when I left the house or, um, just let myself know that there is going to be things that happen. There's going to be noisy kids in my house. There's going to be people that accidentally drive in front of me. There's going to be um, things that you can't plan for because you don't make the rules in life. Things just happen. Um, but if you come out there with a mindset of, hey, adapt to every situation, don't get angry when things happen because always expect the unexpected. And then maybe I wouldn't have been so angry and maybe I wouldn't have this stress come over me with all this tension. And it could be the reason my blood pressure was always, I think, 175 over 120. And they constantly wanted to put me on blood pressure meds because guess they say that's like heart attack condition or whatever. But I was just constantly stressed, and it didn't matter if I was at my house. I was stressed. If I was at the gym, I was stressed. Work stressed. It didn't really matter where I was or what I was doing. I was just totally stressed, and I couldn't figure out how to get over it. Um, so I tried many different things, and um, especially when somebody brings up yoga, especially for a male. Um, so yoga, is one of those things where people, especially guys, don't really want to do it because they think it's kind of fruity. And for most men, then it is. But let me tell you something. It does increase your flexibility, so that's always a plus. It does relieve tension. It allows you to focus on things other than what you're going through your head in. And I was really reluctant to do it, resistant. Um, but I kind of lumped the yoga meditation in together, so it's not like it's just one thing. I try to combine a bunch of things so that way I can make it feel more manly, if you will. Um, or I try to include, say, like if I'm doing it with my wife and kids, well, now it's a family activity. Now I'm not doing it just for me. It's a family function, so we all are doing it together. So then it's a little more. I hate to say more acceptable, but in my brain, it's more acceptable. Um, and I've noticed when I started doing those things or talking to my wife about, uh, what's been irritating me or whatever, and it doesn't really stop the blood from boiling, but at least then it gives me a reason why it's happening. And I think most of the time people just look for reasons why things happen. And once you start getting those answers, then you're like, oh, okay, cool. Then you can learn to accept it, move forward, or uh, try to figure out how to deal with it. And since mine is stress induced, because it creates tension in my shoulders, my neck, it decreases the blood flow to my head, so I get headaches, and start just getting more and more irritated. Well, now you need to start thinking about other things like taking baths. I started doing a lot of that, and I know most guys don't like that either. But hey, man, take a hot bath with that Epsom salt or whatever. Put some lavender in there, maybe some vanilla. Light a candle. No, just kidding. Don't light a candle. But if you want to. But there's just ways to ease stress, and you'll start learning that there's other ways of doing it other than counseling or anything. It's you know people Eastern medicine's been doing it for thousands of years through smells. So don't limit yourself. Try different options, and as long as you keep trying, then you're never gonna fail. Okay, next thing, religion. Like I said, I'm not PC. I don't really care your beliefs. You could be Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, non-denominational, Taoism, atheist. I don't really care what you choose. But I just know for me personally, and that's what I'm doing. This is a personal journey. Hopefully that you can hear my personal journey and then maybe want to take some of the things from it. But I very much believe in God and His grace He has over you. If you ask Him for help, He will help you. He'll help you in His own time. So don't think just because you pray today that He's gonna be like, oh yep, here you go, doom, tomorrow you're fixed. No, man, you gotta have faith that He is going to help you. And but we'll cover that after. I'll talk a little more after I'm done reading the poem. It's called Grace. It says, I'm going to teach you how to survive in a dark space. It has nothing to do with religion, but it's all about God's grace. God loves and mercy are easy to find. It doesn't take much at all. Just look around. There are so many options that you could choose. I know what you are thinking. You have a lot to lose. I know if you like something, you'll try and close the door. You hate feeling like you're losing yourself even more. And more back to the drawing board, and you start to draw up a new plan. Make a goal attainable and easy for you to understand. You could choose to start over to be the good dad, or you could give them everything that you've never had. It would be a great to hug my kids and not have them cower. Make them feel special is the real power. I sat around my house depressed, which made me lazy and fat. My husband, my wife has had enough and said, that's enough of that. I figured if I got a job, too, might find myself some self worth. I shouldn't worry about my value on this earth. I'm not scared of hard work to put it in or extra time. I do it with a smile and a extra time in. I do it with a smile with a huge FU grin. If you feel like you kicked while you're down with nowhere to go, just reach out. Look for help for someone will be there, you know. And so, just quickly, what this is going on in this is that once again, I'm sitting around my house being lazy. My wife sees me. It's like, hey, you know, basically, you haven't really moved from that spot in the last 72 hours. So, whenever you feel like, moving and putting a dent somewhere else in a different cushion, that would be great. Um, But then I noticed that I was just letting myself go. I just quit caring about a lot of different things, and I started, believe it or not, well, you might believe it because I'm a little bit chunky, but I shot up to like almost 300 pounds. I was drinking a 12 pack of soda a day, not caring, not exercising, not moving, um, just letting myself go. And then the whole entire time I'm just sitting there just telling myself, well, something's going to kill me eventually, so what's it really matter? Um, but I guess that's where my wife intervened and said, no, it does matter. You're not going to die on my couch. So you're going to get up, do something, make yourself useful, find a purpose again like you used to have, and we'll go from there. So then, she just started finding me jobs all over the place, and um, which I'm really grateful for, because one of them was with the Rock Hill Group, working with other JTechs, much like myself, that are, retired and just kind of love life and easygoing guys, and allowed me kind of to adjust back into the civilian world. And then, but then she got sick of me going to California all the time. She wanted me home. So then I said, all right, well, fine. Next thing I know, she finds me another job doing security work. And I didn't have a problem with that. Heck, it was it was pretty easy, Security guard just kind of sit there and walk around, talk to people. You guys know I'm a social butterfly anyway, so it kind of fits me. Um, but then, so that new car company came up here, Lucid, and ended up getting a job with them doing security with those guys. And um, I've been working there for the last 9 months. Um, I work the hours I picked. Um, Life's easy. No one. I don't have really a boss. They just every once in a while they'll just say, "Hey man, you good in there?" Yep. Because I have my own building. I have a team that comes in. Life's good for me now. Getting better. And the thing is I would pray that my life would get better, and just because the God doesn't answer me directly, He works through other people, and that's something to keep in mind. So that person He was working through was my wife to find me, that got me these jobs, that did all the paperwork, that just submit them all, and all of a sudden I get a phone call. Hey, you ready for this interview? Sure. Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah. Hey, interview. Let's do this. On the spot. Totally didn't even know I was having an interview that day. And of course, I'm awesome, so of course I get the job. Not a surprise. As you guys can see, my confidence is slowly coming back. Um, because my life is now starting to become in order again, and grab um, a good solid footing, and it's because my wife was my rock that said, "Hey, this is what we're doing." She took a lot of the stuff out of my hands and said, apparently you can't handle it. I'm going to handle it for you. And then when you could finally find yourself mentally capable to handle it, then you could be back in charge of the game. And what I realized is I didn't want to be in charge of the game anymore. Life is so much easier as a team. And that's what she's been trying to teach me all this time, is that we're a team. And so I just want you guys to know that I believe in God. God does answer prayers. He answers them in His own way, in His own time, through who He sees fit, not who you see fit. And He never leaves you. You may leave Him, but He'll never leave you. And He'll just be waiting around till you finally decide to come back to Him again. And like any good dad, when you're ready, He's there. But yeah, it's just some of the couple personal things that I struggled with for a long time, and I hope you guys can learn from some of these stories I had. And yeah, so don't forget to email me at my address I sent. All right. You guys have a good day. Talk to you tomorrow.